Hey everyone, Greg Roten for Street Scene Plus, and I am coming to you from my home. So, I drug all my editing equipment here to home just so I can do some Street Scene Pluses and a little bit of other production for the channel. And we have a submission, actually 2 cars, and it's from our friend Diz Dean. Now, Diz has been around this area since he was a kid. He's grown up here. He lives up in McDonald, and he was one of the organizers for many, many years of Thunder the Park. So we know Diz very well. He's a good friend of ours, and he has 2 cars. He has a couple more than that, but his 2 main cars he wanted to throw at us for a feature. And these, as usual, have a long history with him, and I love that. So let's get right into it. We'll hit up his Camaro first. Let me turn around and read this to you. He is in the Strooker's Car Club. This was my first car. I am the 2nd and 4th owner. How does that work? 2nd and 4th? We'll get to that in a second. So I bought it from Stiver Chevy in Niles in 1973 for $1,000. Wow, that's a good deal. I used to race it on Market Street on the weekends and made 3 trips to Kansas City to go to college in it. I sold it to a friend for $1,100, so he did make $100 off of it, after he sold it, but it gets better. In 1974, when my new GTO came in, is when he sold it. My friend passed away in late 2010 that had the Camaro. So here's where it gets interesting. So his wife, his friend that passed away, his wife sold it back to me in 2011 for $1,600. He had it painted a dark blue at Earl Scheib and dyed the interior black. It was put in his garage in 1977. He started taking it apart, and that's where I found it. It was all torn apart, but everything was still there and hardly any rust. It even still had the 8-track player, so you people that don't know 8-track players, look it up. It had American mag wheels, and I found my graduation tassel still under the carpet. It took 2 years, but it did a full registration on it. Jerry Dietz, rest in peace, and Gerard rebuilt the original 327. Broadway Service and Gerard rebuilt the 4-speed and rear end. Mike Glass put the new windows in, and my neighbors Willis West and Bob Bogner, I'm sorry if I messed that up, so they did the body work and painted it to the original grotto blue. I did the rest. The interior was changed back to the original medium blue. I kept it as much original as possible. It's no supercar, but it runs like a top and is so much fun to drive. It gets a lot of looks because of the colors. It's just a coupe, not an RS or an SS, but the original owner ordered it with all the goodies. It has a 300 horsepower 327 Muncie M24 speed tranny, factory gauges, and a 12-bolt rear end. Kind of rare. I still have all the original C8 silver keychain too. That's really something to hang on to there. Because the protective plate was still in the owner's manual, I found the original owner, Jim Nicastro. Bought it for his wife, Diane, for Christmas in '67. It was delivered to Stiver Chevy on December 20th. I showed it to them both when I was done. Diane had tears running down her cheeks, and Jim loved driving it again. When I was almost done restoring it, my neighbor and his little girl came over to see it. She walked around the car, then said, "What did you name it?" I told her I really don't name my cars, and I thought she was going to cry. Her dad said she loved the movie Cars and knows all of their names. I asked her what her name was, and she said, Carly. I said, okay then. The car is now called Carly, the Camaro. So Diz, you did right. So she was so excited, she told all her friends and her teachers. I gave her a ride in Carly on her 13th birthday, and she waves like crazy every time she sees driving it. So, you know what, Diz? That's one car that goes down in history. First car, you still have it. I know that feeling. So it's really cool. But there's another little loop to that story. He was a 2nd and 4th owner, but what did he have in between that? Well, here's his other car that he still has, and get a load of this car. This was my 2nd car. See? Second, first, second, third, if you can count. This was his 2nd car, and he still has a 2nd car. This 1974 GTO from Wilt, Pontiac & Warren of March of '74. It was delivered in April. He was living at home, working at US Steel, and money falling out of his pockets. It cost me $4,800. My dad said, You're paying what for the car? We got that a lot when we were that age too. I blew the turbo 350 the first summer. I replaced it with a turbo 400. I blew the 350 engine the next year. I replaced it with a 428 with a tri-power. I raced it at Meander and Sunset in 76 and 77 until I blew that engine too. The car sat in my neighbor's garage until I got it back out in 1989. Auto Magic, Auto Body, and Hubbard did the body work, and Gulf Mist Aqua Paint. Dale Fuller recovered the seats. Jerry Dietz built the bottom half of the new 455 that was bored 30 over. So when it was bored 30 over, so it made it like a 462. Jack Batafarano, as I can't say it, and I did the top end. The tranny was rebuilt by Carl Rossler, and Broadway Services installed the 342 gears. It'll run mid-13s on street tires. Not bad for a heavy car. It still only has 60,000 miles on the odometer. The car drives great. It runs really good. The car is well known in the Pontiac circles. It took first place in Class 3 at 3 of 4 GTO AA Nationals. Those are biggies, so look those up. In Detroit, Columbus, and Niagara Falls, and we drove it around Indianapolis Speedway. In 1993, it was on the Snap-on Tools calendar in 2000 and on the cover of 2 Pontiac magazines. We have won many trophies locally. Only 5,335 coupes were built, and I was told by my salesman that this was the only one ordered in these colors and one of the last 5 to come off the line in Michigan. So, Diz, we love you. Thank you for sending those in. And you know what? I remember a little tidbit that you told me. I thought you wrecked that GTO at one point too and rebuilt it. So update on us. Reply back on the street scene. Tell if I'm wrong, but I thought there was something that happened there. But Diz, these are awesome cars. And thank you for sharing them. Get your cars in here. We'll put them on street scene. We'll get you on this virtual car show that we're doing as long as this coronavirus keeps us kind of quarantined here, not doing shows. A lot of shows are getting canceled. We're going to keep doing this as much as we can. We need your cars. All you have to do is send some pictures in and a little bit of bio about your car to armstrongstreetscene@gmail.com. We will get you on the air. You know, we're lining some up. We've got this one. I've got another one to do. Rick's got a couple, and they're all over the place. We like anything. And again, you know me, I like the oddball stuff. So, you know, and ones with a lot of the history on it behind it. But Diz, thank you for showing. If you see Diz somewhere out there, go say hi. His Camaro is just flawless. And that GTO, see, the GTO is my type of car because you don't see a lot of them, and that paint on the GTO is just like glass. So thanks for sending those in. Get those cars in, and for next time, we'll see you later.